Hello everyone, I'm Stella. Today, we're going to talk about a legendary figure in the world of literature, Edgar Allan Poe. Poe is often hailed as the father of detective fiction and the master of horror, and his works have had a profound impact on subsequent literature. However, if you're a fan of detective novels and eagerly dive into Poe's original works, such as the first ever detective story, The Murders in the Rue Morgue, you might find yourself struggling. That's because these works are notoriously difficult to read. Detective fiction is generally classified as popular literature, so many people naturally assume it should be easy to read. But this is a huge misconception. In fact, Poe's works are even harder to read than some pure literary works. Want to know why? Let's continue. Edgar Allan Poe was born in 1809 in Boston and suffered through a life marked by poverty, illness, and the loss of loved ones. Despite these hardships, he managed to achieve remarkable success across various literary fields, including poetry, novels, and literary criticism, thanks to his exceptional literary talent. He is not only the pioneer of detective fiction, but also an outstanding romantic poet and literary critic. His influence on later writers is profound. For example, well-known characters like Sherlock Holmes and Hercule Poirot were greatly inspired by Poe. Arthur Conan Doyle publicly stated that if it weren't for the murders in the Rue Morgue, there would be no Sherlock Holmes. Moreover, the Japanese detective fiction master Edogawa Rampo's pen name is actually derived from the romanization of Edgar Allan Poe's name. In the realm of detective fiction, The Murders in the Rue Morgue undoubtedly stands as Poe's magnum opus. This novel is considered the first true detective story in the world, establishing the detective fiction genre. It laid down the basic framework of detective novels, such as featuring a highly intelligent detective and solving cases through logical reasoning. Besides this, Poe wrote 4 other groundbreaking detective stories. The Mystery of Marie Rogêt pioneered the locked room murder mystery genre, describing an apparently unsolvable case that is ultimately unraveled through meticulous logical reasoning. The Purloined Letter can be seen as the foundational work for logical reasoning-type detective stories. The entire narrative revolves around the recovery of a stolen letter, showcasing Poe's masterful logical analysis. The Goldbug is considered a representative work that pioneered the treasure hunt adventure genre. The novel follows the deciphering of a series of puzzles leading to hidden treasure. And Thou Art the Man pioneered the psychological analysis type of detective story, focusing on the psychological analysis of criminals and exploring the dark side of human nature. Of course, Poe's achievements are not limited to detective fiction. He also made significant contributions to poetry and Gothic fiction. For instance, The Raven, a romantic poem, is hailed as a classic in American literature. The Fall of the House of Usher is a representative work of Gothic literature, depicting the decline and fall of an ancient family with a chilling and unforgettable atmosphere. So, why are Edgar Allan Poe's works so difficult to read? This has much to do with his literary style. Poe's works are primarily influenced by Romanticism and Gothicism, characterized by the following features. First, Poe loves using complex sentence structures, a hallmark of Romantic literature. Writers of this genre often use intricate sentences and rich rhetoric to express deep emotions and thoughts. For example, The Raven is filled with inverted sentences and sentence restructuring, breaking up and reordering the sentences. Let's look at a specific example. In The Murders in the Rue Morgue, there's a sentence. As the strong man exults in his physical ability, delighting in such exercises as call his muscles into action, so glories the analyst in that moral activity which disentangles. This sentence structure is very complex, containing multiple insertions and rhetorical elements, making it difficult to understand. Second, Poe excels at using rich rhetorical devices such as exaggeration, contrast, and symbolism. He aims to create specific literary effects and enhance the mystery and tension of his works. But on the flip side, it means he doesn't speak straightforwardly, making his language obscure and filled with many rare words. Lastly, Poe's plots are often twisted and bizarre, filled with grotesque and horror elements. His themes, like the dark side of human nature, jealousy, cruelty, and madness, are also deep and obscure, requiring readers to ponder deeply. Given the various difficulties in reading Poe's works, how can we appreciate and understand them better? Here are a few tips. First, sentence-by-sentence analysis is a very effective method. Break down complex sentences into smaller parts. First grasp the main structure, then sort out the modifiers and insertions, understanding the meaning step by step. Second, choosing annotated and guided versions can be very helpful. However, from my personal reading experience over the years, books can only explain part of it. For most parts, you still have to look things up yourself. If it's just rare words, a dictionary will do. The more challenging part is the cultural background or historical events referenced in the works, and some allegories, which really can only be guessed and understood through literary criticism. It's a long-term accumulation process. The more works you read, the better you understand many references and backgrounds in the works. Finally, a small question for everyone. Which work of Edgar Allan Poe is your favorite? Whether it's a detective novel, poem, or other types of work, feel free to share your thoughts and reading experiences in the comments. If you find his works too difficult to read, you can also share the specific difficulties you encountered. If you liked this video, I'd greatly appreciate it if you could give it a thumbs up. See you next time.